welcome. I'm so excited to have a group of experts here with me. We are right now here promoting the International Digital Wellness Summit for Parents. If you're a parent, and it doesn't matter if you're a parent of a little one, a parent of a toddler, a parent of a school child, or a parent of a teenager, this summit is just for you because we have experts from all over the world coming in together to help you understand what does it mean to have correct digital wellness habits, and lack of those habits actually cause a risk inside our family, inside the social structure of the family, inside our children's abilities, skills, and sometimes even brain development. My name is Malva Kasowski. I am going to be the co-host of this summit, and right next with me is Nicole Rossen. Hi, Nicole. How are you?
Good. I'm great. Thank you. My name is Nicole. I'm the founder of Screen Time Clinic, and I'm just so happy that we have a great group. Everybody has their own unique perspective, and I'll be talking about some of the myths about screen time and solutions and easy ways that parents can make some changes right away. My presentation is more of like an edutainment webinar. But we have great perspectives from all different aspects. So I'm just excited for everybody to be able to sample a little bit of everything with Screen Time Clinic and companies that are affiliated with Screen Time Clinic and have their own company also.
I'm going to ask every single speaker over here to introduce themselves, to have the possibility for you guys to get to know them. And that way, you'll not only see how amazing the summit is going to be, but how amazing the speakers individually are. Carrie, welcome to the summit. Can you tell me a few words about yourself and the topic of your presentation?
Hi, Malva. Thank you so much for having me. I am Carrie Perry. I am a registered nurse and a digital wellness consultant. I'm very happy to be here today. This is a subject I'm very passionate about. I have 3 children with ages from 16 to 20, and I was part of the first generations of parents that had to deal with the digital screen time and the gaming issues with very few resources available to help me. It was like being inside a dark room, feeling around for a light switch is the best way for me to describe it. I'm really excited that we have a movement going that we can offer you some resources, some tips, and some suggestions. One of the things that I found through all of the digital challenges that I've had in my life is we see kids not partaking in what's going on around them. And I think all of you have either seen it in your kids or in those around you. And that's really concerning because part of what puts you together as an adult and brings you up in the years and making an impact on the world is what you observe, what you see, and what you interact with. What we have now is kids that are looking at their phones, they're gaming, and they're not seeing real human emotion. And I do talk about this in my presentation. I talk about the physical and mental aspects of the digital world and what happens when a child puts themselves in an isolated cocoon. So I talk very specifically about emotional things. I feel like, when I was growing up, we went outside all day. We didn't come in until it was getting dark. We had interactions, we saw nature, and I think it really grows you as a person. The kids aren't seeing this, and the emotional impact of what they are seeing in their digital world is very concerning. So I'm very happy to be here today. I can't wait for everyone to be able to see the videos. And we have resources outside of the videos. We are digital wellness consultants, and we're very happy to help all of you. Bravo for attending this summit.
Yay! I hope a lot of parents will come and attend this summit, parents, teachers, and any caregiver, to be honest, because it's not only if you're a mom, then this is for you, but if you are a caregiver and you're offering caregiving services to children, what does screen time and digital wellness have to do with being a caregiver is very important to exactly what Carrie just said. Carrie was the first generation. We can be, depending on how old you are, either the first, second, or third generation of parents having to deal with children and their screen time. Mommy, can I watch a film? film? Mommy, can I game? Mommy, can I turn on the computer? Or I'm just going to cheat and do it without mommy or daddy even knowing. So it's very important that we have new resources. Carrie, thank you very much. Dolly, I'm very happy and excited that you're here. If I can ask you to introduce yourself to the parents out there and tell me a little bit about what is your take on screen time wellness.
Thank you so much. I'm so honored to be here, and I'm so glad that y'all invited me. My name is Dolly Denson. I live in South Texas. I'm a nurse practitioner by trade, but I am the mother of 3 kids. And just like Carrie said, I was the first generation of parents to have to do this and had no clue what to do, did things all in the more difficult path now looking back. And my trials and all of that brought me to a point to where I wanted to offer out to the world what I learned and give other parents the opportunity to realize that this does have such an incredible impact in our life, in our kids' lives. I am the founder of the Be That Mom movement and the host of the Be That Mom movement podcast. And what I do on that is just offer very practical tips and tools and support for moms to raise their kids in a responsible digital way, and to not let it stifle their childhood. With my youngest, he had the greatest impact. He's 16. My oldest is 23. They had, the oldest barely had a phone through middle school. And then with each one, I gave them a phone at a younger age. I had no clue the impact. And at the same time, social media and all of that was evolving and becoming more invasive in their lives. And I can see that impact in each one a little bit more. And so with my 16-year-old, we made the most drastic changes because he was the youngest. And he has blossomed into a young man that you would not imagine. And he has thanked us and told us that if y'all wouldn't have done what you did, I wouldn't have found the interest that I have. I wouldn't have found what my future is supposed to be. And so thank you for doing what you did. And that's like the most beautiful thing to hear after some very, very, very difficult times for us. So my podcast is all about just helping moms with practical tips and tools. And my talk for this is just talking about not or realizing that there is an impact with all of this. I give 5 tips on how to roll forward with putting something in place for your kids and allowing them to blossom as children and not stifling their potential to where they never realized what they were meant to be in this world. So thank you so much for having me.
Thank you very much, Dolly. Mary is another expert that is joining us here in this summit. Hi, Mary.
Hi, thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure.
I'm Mary Mulliken, and I am a digital wellness coach and educator. I'm also a writer and a researcher and a workshop leader. I'm really honored and excited to be part of this summit, so thank you for having me. The basis of my presentation is specifically about babysitting with screens and how it sets kids back, but the primary focus of my presentation is really about how it sets moms back. So there's elements of the presentation that are about what is babysitting with screens and what's family fun with screens. What's the difference between those two things? Why do screens make poor babysitters? And then I talk about, I would say one tip I give is don't fall for this notion that screens are reducing your feelings of overwhelm as a parent. We're buying into this idea, and it's not actually reducing our feelings of overwhelm. So I talk a little bit about how we can actually come together as a culture, join this movement as moms, and get the support that we're actually looking for when we reach for screens to babysit our kids. Let's create a culture where we're actually supporting each other and kind of feeding that symbiotic relationship between moms and kids, where everybody needs to be healthy and thriving for us to feel good.
It takes a village to raise a child, but not necessarily the digital village. I love that, Mary. That was amazing.
Oh, thanks.
All right, so moms, if you want to know the difference, and dads, if you want to know the difference between actually using and having fun with electronics as opposed to having your phone or your computer or your tablet, whatever you have, on your hand to babysit your child for you, then Mary's topic is the one that you should kind of spend time listening to. Thanks, Mary. I have also Christina here with us. Hi, Christina. Lovely to have you. Can you tell us a few words about yourself and the topic, as well as a tip for the parents listening?
Hi, everyone, and I'm so glad to be on your show as well. My name is Christina, and I'm from Austria, as you might be able to hear. And I believe that our time here on this earth really matters, so that we all have so much potential to share. And I find it really sad that sometimes I look around, as you said, and I see so many people are just spending their time on the screen, on the smartphone, comparing themselves with others, thinking they're not good enough. And I think especially also parents are confronted with this when they have children, and they can feel that their children are comparing themselves with others. Yeah, and so that's what I do. I work with people, and I support people to create their self-worth, to use their smartphones in a wise way and not being used by their smartphones. And I use actually a tool that might be a little bit different. So I'm a hypnosis and meditation trainer. So I use mindfulness techniques for addressing this issue. Because I think we talk about mindfulness now so much, right? So every time you hear about something about mindfulness, but are we really being mindful with our smartphones is the question. And so that's what I try. I try to compare mindfulness and the usage of smartphones. And in this summit, I will offer a guided meditation, and it's about reflecting on our own smartphone behavior. So it's less about giving advice like switch off your smartphone, put it away, or do something else with it, switch off push notifications. But it's more about really questioning ourselves. Why do I use my smartphone? So what is it really distracting about it? And what do I feel when I use my smartphone? And what do I need in order to do something else instead of using my smartphone? And parents can use it for really questioning or using these questions for their children, for example. And yeah, I'm at the moment I'm a mom of a small baby, so I think I'm going to work with all of these things soon, very soon. And that's what I want to share with the world now already, these questions. And I really want us, or every one of us, to see their own potential and to see that all of our life matters, and it's not worth to be distracted so much, but to be active and proactive with our lives.
Thank you so very much. I can't wait to take part in your guided meditation when it comes to our screen time wellness. Thank you, Christina. And I have another wonderful speaker for you guys. It is Jessica. And Jessica, welcome to the summit. Tell us a little bit about yourself and one of the tips that you want to share for parents listening in.
Hi, I apologize. My voice is almost gone. The fires in our area have just affected my vocal cords. It doesn't hurt, and I'm not sick, but it sounds terrible. I'm sorry. I'm really crossing my fingers that it will be better by the time our conference rolls around, because I have a lot to say. I am a mom. I've been married for 26 years. I attended UNR and BYU in psychology and nursing, and have worked for over 20 years in the medical and educational fields. And one of our 4 children, we were also on the front lines of this, digital frontier. And one of our children became extremely addicted to screens, video games, and smartphones. We didn't know, how to set parental controls. We didn't know that there was such a thing as being able to stand up and parent counterculture. everyone else was doing it. And we didn't want to be the only parents that weren't, and we didn't want to be the parents that weren't embracing technology. We wanted to be the young, cool parents and make sure our kids had lots of friends to play with. And if they're all playing Fortnite, then, that's just how it is today. We were really not confident in our parenting, confident enough to follow our gut when we started to see things go awry. And we eventually had to enroll our son in a residential treatment program. Through that treatment, and these are, I'm going to talk about some excruciating years of chasing the problem, trying to medicate the problem. We tried everything to help this child, and his emotional dysregulation, his behavioral outbursts. He really transformed into what I would describe as a textbook heroin addict, and would stop at nothing to get these screens because it was his only way of coping with uncomfortable emotions. This addiction led to all kinds of problems, self-esteem problems, like some of our other experts noted. If you're in a screen, in that cocoon all the time, you're not experiencing real life, you're not achieving anything, you're not overcoming anything, and you're not building skills to face challenges in life. You're not building a self-esteem and the idea that you can overcome things, which leads to increased anxiety. So we're seeing sort of a skyrocketing trend in things like crippling anxiety, depression, self-harm, and suicidality in our young people today. And the apps that are available and the tech industry really is not regulated yet. There's legislation being formed, but it's miles behind what's available. The things that we have regulating TV, what ads can be on at what times, and what materials, what marketing, all of these things are regulated. That hasn't come to the internet yet. And these tech companies are not yet accountable and responsible for the content they're making available for our kids. The worst thing we could possibly do is give an unregulated or self-regulated, by the tech industry, give that platform to kids in their pockets. And that's exactly what we've done. We've taken away any parental oversight as well as legal oversight. The tech industry's goal obviously is to addict everyone to their product. That's how you make money. But young brains are particularly vulnerable to this, and it's actually killing them.
Jessica, I'm so sorry on a personal level that this is something that you guys had to go through, but from a level of someone who wants to know what it's like on the inside of someone who went through extremely difficult times as a result of overuse of screen time, drastic overuse. I'm so glad that you're here and you're able to share that story with parents out there. So thank you very much for being vulnerable and sharing that story with us in the summit, and as well as not only the story, but tips on how to help us see when their red flags are going to be there and what to do with that. So Jessica, thank you very much. And we have Kay with us. Kay +1. Amazing to have an online digital business where we're able not only to work from home, but also take care of our kids and help other parents with their digital wellness. Welcome, Kay.
Hi, thank you for having me. It's 7:20 a.m. here. So I've got him and his twin brother running around, and he just really wants to be in my arms right now. So
great to have you, little one.
Perfect example of why I'm here and what I'm doing. So I had twins last year, and I'm an educational therapist. I work with elementary school and middle school students. So I'm hearing all the stories and know kind of the effects 10 years down the road. And I have a partner, Jennifer, who's fantastic, who's an LMFT and also an educational therapist. We've both been in education together about 30 years. And she's a 3-year-old, and we're raising kids in this digital world. We're kind of the next generation, and we've seen the effects, and don't feel like there is a solid guide that doesn't scare you about raising kids in this digital world right now. For example, this is Mama's tool. Mama's using it for work. So like language that we can use with our littles to empower them, that these are, you can hear my other son right behind me, to empower them that these are tools that are part of our world, but they're adult tools. That's what we feel really passionate about. Our company, our business is called TechWise Littles. And in the course, you'll learn about simple screen swaps, like what type of TV is the best, meaning proximity to your child, what type of content. And we also talk about noticing your own tech habits and the language and how you handle tech as an adult, as a parent. And so you can set that really healthy, strong foundation with your partner if you parent with a partner, about how you're noticing your own tech habits around your little ones. So it's really a whole shift of, let's start from day one. Let's, especially I've had twins in the middle of a pandemic. So how are we knowing and feeling empowered and confident from when you have your baby and raising your child, because we know what has happened in generations prior. And also our presentation and also our course, we have a whole course, it's self-paced and it's actually coming out this week, talks about how to not be afraid of screen time, how to have language around it, how to use it in a positive way. Because we can't just say screens are bad, screens are good, I do screens, I don't do screens. We have to be beyond that. And that's our philosophy, is a holistic approach. And we talk about that in our presentation too, how you can kind of think of it as a healthy diet. So I'm in the thick of it. And we're really excited about being a part of this and listening to all your amazing stories. We're with you bringing up the next generation. I feel like it's really important to feel empowered and confident and have clarity around parenting in this digital world, not have questions. That's where I was at, was, okay, I'm having a baby in a pandemic, but I want them to meet their grandparents who are actually in Utah. Someone else mentioned Utah. And can the baby, is it okay to have the phone in their face? How often? When does FaceTime become a powerful tool for language versus a stimulating tool, screen? So there's so many questions and we go through it all. There's just a slice in our presentation and then our course goes over everything. But, and then my partner, I'm sorry she couldn't be here, Jennifer, is fantastic. And so that's us.
Awesome, Kay. Thank you very much for being here, guys, for sharing your little tips and tricks on how to work with screen time. Being raised in an era of digital abundance means that we really need to know what it is like to be mindful, to be respectful, and to be well. Right there, if you go to the store, you're able to buy 1,000,002 different candies and gums and sweets and junk food. That doesn't mean that's the only thing that you include in your dietary needs for your child. So let's think about screens as something that we give to our child and making it a balanced. How do we include the rules? If you don't eat your peas, you won't have, for example, dessert, or routines. Dinner time is at 7. How do we do that with screens? Transitions. What do we do when we need to take away the screens from our child? Not because we're using it as a reward, but because we need to transition to do something else. And what kind of choices do we have as parents in our hands when it comes to screen time, when it comes to minimizing conflict, when it comes to cooperating in the family and within the family as a social unit, as well as how the family works outside? Exactly what Jessica said. So we are not a lone island. Neither is our neighborhood. We need to work together and our kids will talk. So exactly what kind of things and tools can we have as parents to empower ourselves, to make sure that our children feel empowered? And there's nothing wrong in saying, no, baby, not today, or later, or today is enough. Just like you would to a bag of chips, just like you would to a whole bag of your Halloween candy that your child just picked up and wants to eat. So this is exactly what we're here for. You guys have been able to be introduced to just a handful of the experts that are going to take part in the summit. There's much more inside the summit as soon as you guys register for it. So we are very excited to have you here. Nicole and myself are super happy to welcome you guys. And I am extremely happy that you will be part of this digital wellness movement, making sure that we are safe and we are conscious of the uses of the digital world that we have, both for ourselves as adults, monkey see, monkey do, children see us, as well as children, so children have good habits in the future. Guys, thank you very much for being here. I appreciate all of you, and thank you very much, parents and caregivers, for listening. I cannot wait to have all these speakers share their knowledge within the summit. Take care for now.